How to break up with a toxic friend. People in our lives are toxic sometimes, and it doesn't always mean that we discontinue the relationship, but it does mean that we need to create boundaries that are healthy for us. So today we're going to talk about what is a toxic friend. I have 6 questions for you to ask yourself to determine, is this actually a toxic friend or is it something else? And then a 5-step process on how to set your boundaries so that they're healthy, or break up with them completely, because the last thing that you need around you are low vibe people who don't make you feel good about yourself. Author and speaker Jim Rohn says that you are the product of the 5 people with whom you spend the most time. And that is because we attract the vibration that is within us. And if these people are bringing our vibration down, we're going to attract things that we don't want, lesser than what we deserve. So I want you to attract high vibe things. I want you to be high vibe. And we need to make sure that that means that the 5 people that we're around the most are not low vibe people. So if that sounds good, that's what is coming up. But before we get to it, will you please check and see if you're a subscriber here? And if not, please click that subscribe button and the bell so that you get notifications when we drop videos like this to help you live a happier life. That's the whole reason we're here. I'll see you in just a second.
GILD Coaching. More success, less stress.
Here's the thing about friendships. They need to be mutual. They're not one-sided. It's not a one-way street. One person gets all the benefit and the other person's just this indentured servant to the friendship. They need to be mutual. It's a give and take. It's an ebb and flow, like watching ocean waves come up and go back and come up and go back. It's a constant movement, and it needs to be a gentle movement. Sometimes there's a little hitch in a friendship, and that's fine. But if it's truly a friendship, you can discuss it and move forward. The last couple of years, I've broken up with a couple of toxic friends that I felt like, it's just not working. And oh man, I just can't tell you what a weight off of my shoulders it was to unload this. There were certain benefits that I was enjoying from the friendship, but the pains most definitely did not outweigh the friendships. And I mean, I'm in the business of coaching other people to live more successful lives, healthier lives. I can't afford to have low vibe energy vampires around me, right? Because I have to be tip top shape for you, for my clients, for my family, for myself, most importantly, right? So first of all, how do you know if it actually is a toxic relationship? All right, I've got a few questions that you can ask. Is there excessive drama here that's just not necessary? Is this person a drama magnet? And do you sometimes end up sort of getting wrapped up in it or having to hear about it? Do they vent to you about it so that they can involve you? Or do they lie to you? Like oh man, that's kind of that's a game changer. That's a game ender for me, lies. So number 1, are they kind of drama queens? They're addicted to excess drama. Number 2, is it always all about them? Are they receiving more of the benefits than you are in this relationship? Because it needs, you don't need to keep a tally, but there's this thing called equal exchange of energy. There's one person particularly, he's a delightful soul, but he's kind of been in a healthy way stalking me for a few years, just like he watches YouTube channel. He's probably watching right now. Hello, you are. Sends me messages on Telegram. I'm at Dr. Jane on Telegram. If anybody wants to reach out to me there, emails me, always ask me for advice. And recently I asked him if he realized that all the things that he's always asking me are what my clients pay me to guide them in. And I asked him, do you think that it's fair that you want to get this for free? And other people who I know through the same channels that I know you actually have an equal exchange of energy with me. I give them this value and then they pay for it in some way. Is it always monetary? No, but that's between each individual person and me. Is it all about them? It's not really a friendship. It's not really a relationship if it's always all about them. And this person was like, yes, I realized that. And then just kind of like disappeared. Okay, that's fine. Go. I wish you well. Not mad. I just wish you well. Go. Is it all about them? So excessive drama, is it all about them? Do they put you down, but like kind of make it a joke, like to boost themselves up? Or do you feel like they do? If you ever feel like they're doing this in any way, kind of like knocking you down a little bit to be like, haha, I'm just kidding. If it ever makes you feel bad, give this one a yes. Because if you think that this is what they're doing, then this is what they're doing, because it's all about the feeling. Are they excessively or overly competitive? I'm competitive. If you and I play cards together, I'm not letting you win. You know, I want to win, but are they competitive with freaking everything? Are they a one-upper? Hey, I just booked a cruise to the Bahamas. Yeah, well, I went to the Himalaya mountains. Okay. Congratulations. You know, I mean, are they just competitive about everything? Hey, I just learned how to cook coq au vin. Oh, well, I've never wanted to make coke. You know, like, are they just competitive about stupid things? Everything's always a competition. That's not healthy. That's toxic. Are they jealous of your other friendships? Are they jealous when you get really, really, really close with other people? I know one woman who I'm not as close with as I used to be, but she started to develop other friendships with me. There's another friend of ours who I'm very, very dear friends with. She had an existing friend before we came on the scene, and this person hates us, hates the new girls that have shown up. She's so jealous because before she kind of had this person all to herself. And she's so toxic, and we've tried to all do things together, but I don't want to be around her because she's so negative and gross. And I can see just plain as the nose on my face that it's because she's jealous that this one person has these other friends now. So gross. That's definitely a toxic relationship, but it's not mine to release. So none of my business. And that's where boundaries come in. All right. And are you feeling responsible for this person? Well, if I'm not this person's friend, then who else is going to be? Or this person's kind of a hot mess and I help them out in all these ways. You know, are you feeling more personal responsibility for this person than you should have? I understand doing nice things for people, but when you start to feel a burden to continue a friendship, that is a major sign of toxicity. And just a bonus one, do you ever have a sense of dread, like when you see a text come from them, or when you see that it's them on the phone, or if they like ask you? I had a friend that I distanced myself from because I figured out she was just always using me. She'd be like, hey, what are you doing Friday night? And in my mind, I always go to the positive. I'm like, oh, cool, she wants to do something. And I'd be like, well, I don't really think that we have anything planned. Oh, great, my babysitter canceled. I'm going to bring Hannah over at 6. That's not really what I had in mind on Friday night, but okay, right? So really, really ask yourself these things. Okay, so how do you break up with one? Once you go through those questions, by the way, if you answered yes to any of those questions, yes, they're a drama queen, yes, it's all about them, yes, just one is all you need to answer yes to. Yes, they put me down. Yes, they're competitive. Yes, they're jealous of my other friendships. Yes, I feel responsible for them. Yes, sometimes I feel a sense of dread. A yes to any of those 7 questions, it's toxic. All right, so just to clear that up, how to break up with them. Number 1, you can't ignore it anymore. Once you realize that it's toxic, you have to do something about it. And you're the only one that can do something about it. You're not going to change them. So doing something about it doesn't mean, hey, they need to change this and that and the other, because that's toxic too, just in the reverse. Number 2, acknowledge the truth of how you feel. I really feel, it makes me feel a sense of dread. I do feel dread. I do feel a responsibility for someone, and I know that that's not a healthy boundary. I do feel stressed out when this person causes drama. Okay, so acknowledge the way that you feel. Then script out what you'd like to say to them. It doesn't have to be what you're actually going to say to them, but script out exactly what you'd like to say to them, the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. Just script it, journal it, and then kind of go through and edit it out so that you kind of do know-ish what you want to communicate with them. Set a time to communicate this. Hey, I'd really like to talk with you about something. Would you like to go get coffee on Tuesday? Like, set a time. Don't be like, I'm going to have a serious conversation with you, because this toxic person's going to run until you calm down and forget about it. But you're not going to calm down and forget about it because you're not really emotionally charged about it. You've just made a realization that you need a lifestyle shift when it comes to this person, and it's going to happen. So, okay, hey, let's go get coffee. There's a couple things that I just want to catch up with you about. Then when you reach that catch-up date, be direct. Don't beat around the bush. Don't worry about hurting their feelings. You're going to have already scripted this out and journaled this out and know kind of what you want to say. And then you're going to have already worked through a way to communicate it that's kind, respectful, and this is very important, kind, respectful, and necessary. Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? Those are the three things that I always tell people to ask themselves before they communicate something difficult. Is it true? Is it kind? Is it necessary? But also, you know, is it kind? Is it direct? And is it honoring? Is it honoring of who I am as a person? And is it honoring of who they are as a person? I can tell you something that I perceive that's negative about yourself and do it in a positive way. For example, if I believe that if I'm coaching somebody who wants to generate wealth and I see that they're wasting their time on something, I'll say, hey, let's just say it's Marvin. I don't coach anybody named Marvin, so just pulled that name out of the air. Marvin, I know that you have these goals, and I'm hearing you say that you're spending time in these other activities. In my opinion, that's not in the right direction. What do you think? And then you lob it back to them. But you know, without the shadow of a doubt, where your beliefs lie. Marvin's not able to talk me out of believing that taking 4-hour naps in the middle of the day is in the right direction, or whatever he's doing, playing videos for 4 hours in the middle of the day instead of working on his business, right? Be direct. Be direct, be firm, know the way that you feel and allow it to flow. It's okay if they disagree with you, it doesn't matter. Only your perception matters here. You know, because you answered yes to one of those 7 criteria, you know that they're toxic. So you're going to do something about it through developing your boundaries. So be direct when you are communicating with them. And number 5 is establish clear boundaries. So here's what I did with the girl with the babysitting thing. I said, I never talked to her about it because I was like, you know, this isn't something that needs to be discussed. So I didn't do that step. But the next time that she asked, hey, what are you doing Saturday afternoon? I'd say, well, what are you doing Saturday afternoon? I'd ask another question back. Why do you ask? Last time you asked me this, you ended up getting me to babysit without really asking me permission to babysit. You ended up assigning me babysitting duties. So I'd like to know where the question is coming from before I answer it. And she goes, oh, well, I didn't know you minded. So I didn't really mind, but I felt manipulated. So why do you ask? Oh, well, she never did that again. Then she started to say, hey, I'm in a bind. I really need a babysitter on Sunday afternoon. Is there any way that Nope, I can't do it. Or yeah, I'd be happy to. It's respectful and it's honoring. And that should always guide your relationship, should always guide your communication, no matter what. If this has been of help to you, please give me a thumbs up so that I know that I've done something good for you today. And if you didn't already, please hit the subscribe button and the bell so that the next time that you log into YouTube, you'll see when we drop a video like this to help you live a happier, more successful life with a more positive mindset surrounded by positive people. See you soon.